Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to my channel. You know how it goes. Namaste, anaseo, bienvenue, bienvenida, merhaba, ekabo. So, no, guys, hello, welcome. What are we discussing today? We're discussing a topic that's quite dear to my heart because it just is. We're going to be talking about friendships and navigating through friendships and all the different kind of friends that will display their different characters to you and how you should know the people that are good for you and when they are red flags. I find that too many a time we concentrate a lot on how romantic relationships can be the toxic ones, negating the fact that it's actually the platonic relationships we take part in that is draining us of our energy. So I've actually written a piece about this quite a while ago. It's called Friendship Imitates True Love and it is on my blog. I will put the link down below. Anyway, so let's go straight into the video. But wait, Ramadan Mubarak to everyone out there. Let's get straight into the video. I'll split this video into three main sections here because I'm going to talk about three different kinds of friends that you will meet in your lives. So I'm going to talk about good / genuine friends. Then I'm going to move on and talk about toxic / manipulative friends. And then I'm going to move on and talk about what I like to call arm's length friends / acquaintances. And all these different friendships have different impacts on your lives, and it is very vital that we recognize which friendships we want to partake in because everybody possesses different characteristics that complement our fundamentals in different ways. So let's talk about good friends / genuine friends. Before I started this video, I did reach out to some people, especially people that are really into psychology and sociology. So I asked them what they think friendship means to them and how they would explain good friendships to people, blah blah blah. Someone said something that actually stuck with me, and essentially what they said was, you know, the relationship is genuine / good when good things happen to you and the first person you want to tell, well, not always the first person, but you actually want to tell your friend. Say you get a really high score in an essay or you do really well in a competition or whatever. At some point after you've told your parents or your siblings, you also want to inform your best friends because you know they would feel genuine joy for you. You know the happiness that they would radiate would reach you at some point because they genuinely care for you and they're good to you. It's very, very, very difficult to find people like that. In fact, some people may not have those kinds of friendships till they die. And the reality of the situation is, for those of us who have friends like this and are blessed to be with people that only elevate your minds, that beautify your well-being, that genuinely want to secure your own interest at all costs, it's mad. You should be happy that you've got people like this in your lives because boy oh boy, is it difficult to find them? Yes. Is it difficult to keep them? Yes. So it's definitely stick with your good friends. And then another thing I'd say about good friends is that they always consider your own interest. So let's take an example. For instance, you're going through something really tough here and they're going through something really tough as well. Let's say their own stuff is a lot tougher than yours. A good friend will always ask you first. I believe that a good friend would ask you, do you have the emotional space? Do you have the mental space for me to discuss this subject matter with you? Or are you also going through your own stuff in a sense that if I tell you this, it's just gonna pile onto your own mental issues, or it's just gonna pile onto your own sadness, and that would cause you more pain. You know, they want to consider if you're in a position in which you have enough, like I like to say, emotional juice to attend to their own issues. That's number one. And then I'd say another thing that a genuine friend will always consider is, even when they think what they're going to say to you will hurt, they will say it to you in the most polite way possible. Sometimes polite for them may not mean polite for you, but at the end of the day, you know that their heart was in the right place and their intentions are always in the right place. A good friend will tell you when you've messed up, when it is your bad, when you basically like, come on mate, what have you done? This is out of order. A good friend will do that. They always check you. And it's nicer to have a friend that checks you whilst taking your feelings into account, for sure. However, people like me, I'm quite blunt, I'm not gonna lie. So if you're doing something dumb, I'm just gonna be like, why are you being dumb, mate? Like, stop. Thing is, at the end of the day, the thing is, they care about you enough to tell you that you're being dumb. I always say this to everyone around me: give me constructive criticisms, because if you're giving me constructive criticisms, then you want me to improve, you want me to get better. If you're not giving me constructive criticisms, how am I supposed to know the things that I'm doing wrong? In my eyes, everything I'm doing is perfect. Like, I don't need feedback because I'm just doing what I'm doing. However, because I know I'm not a perfect person, I'm obviously making mistakes, I obviously have flaws, but it's like, highlight those flaws to me, highlight these mistakes to me so that I can change, so that I can be the best version of myself always. Now, let me just say this as well. Sometimes we open ourselves too early to people that we deem as good friends. Sometimes we think, oh, this person is definitely a good friend, this person is definitely genuine, they're going to be there for me for a long time, they're in it for the long haul. Sometimes we do that, and that's okay. We make mistakes, we're human beings. It means that we are not just passing with time, we're relishing in it. It is a strength, it is not a flaw. So anyway, so we do that, and we believe that this person is going to be there for the long haul, and sometimes we jump in too quickly without safeguarding our minds, in the sense that we open ourselves too much to vulnerabilities too soon. We open ourselves too much to a friendship that we think, oh, this person definitely cares about me, because guess what? You are projecting your own care onto them. You believe you want to see what you want to see, in the sense that because you care for them, you want to believe that they care for you. But newsflash, mate, it's not like that. They don't really care for you like that. And sometimes it takes us a while to realize this. It takes us a while to realize that some people don't have our best interests at heart as much as we think they do. And that's okay. When we find this out, I believe that the best way to navigate through this hiccup is to discuss the subject matter with the person. You know, always get closure from a friendship. If the friendship is over, in the sense that, you know, in your heart that the person would never be in a position in which you would love them and care for them, then discuss this with them, because it's nice to have closure. You don't just need closure from a romantic relationship, you also need closure from a platonic relationship, because it would weigh on your mind. You would be thinking about it like, maybe I did this wrong, but maybe it was my fault, Just get closure and then try to move on as quickly as possible in a sustainable fashion. Obviously, don't be like, hey, I'm over it after 2 days. No, you're not over it after 2 days. That's not how it works. But don't let it define your life. Don't let it take over you. You know, definitely walk through the pain, but don't let the pain engulf you in every way. You know, try to compartmentalize. That's what I'd say. Anyway, all in all, in total, I would say having good friends is very vital. It is important that you get good friends, that you always seek good friendships. No man is an island. Please seek good friendships, friendships that elevate your mind, that you can discuss the hardest of subject matters, but at the same time you can discuss and chat absolute shit. You want friends like that. You want friends that will help you in every shape or form. You want friends that you didn't have to walk on eggshells around. You want friends that, you know, they get your character, they get your jokes, they get your sarcasm, they know you have their best interest at heart. You want friends that when you need space, they know you need space. You want friends that you want to be comfortable in silence together. Like, yes, you're in my house, but at the moment I don't want to talk, and that's okay. You don't always have to have small talk. That's fine. So anyway, I'd say these are the good things about having genuine friendships, because it does help you in life. Sometimes you just need a friend, and friends always lead to family. And in my opinion, sometimes friendships are even greater than some family DNA bond. Friends are the family members you choose, in my own opinion. Okay, so the second part of this video is going to talk about toxic/manipulative friends. This one is very important because there are a lot of toxic/manipulative friends out there. Let me tell you one main character trait about toxic friends. They never want to compromise, in the sense that if you want to do something and they want to do something, you find yourself saying, okay, fine, Kalas, we'll do what you want to do. And you don't even understand how you got to that position whereby you are agreeing to something that you never wanted to do in the first place, but you're just like, okay, whatever. They always, without fail, manipulate the situation to make it seem like you were the one that suggested the thing in the first place, when in fact it was their idea to do that thing all along. But then they say things like, oh, we never do what I want to do, we always do what you want to do. And it's like, what? So you just agree to whatever they're. And then another thing I'd say is, you always find yourself justifying their bad character traits to other people around you. You're always like, oh, it's just who she is. Oh no, but she actually has good intentions. Oh, but no, she's a happy person, you just have to get to know her. Mate, leave that relationship, leave that friendship, because a lot of who we are, as much as we hate to admit it, is defined by the people around us. We imitate other people's actions. We imitate their own behaviors. So if you continue to surround yourself with people that have negative energy, if you continue to surround yourself with people that when you go into a room, other people get uncomfortable by them, there's no way you won't pick up on their energy, and there's no way their energy isn't going to affect your own energy and the essence of who you are. And they always drain you. You find that every time you hang out with them, or every time you have a conversation with them, you're not as happy as you were beforehand. Another thing about toxic relationships/manipulative friendships is that you're always second guessing how much you mean to them. You don't know where you stand. You're always like, wait, does this person actually care a lot about me? Am I just, their doormat? Am I just somebody that they come to when they need something? Am I just this? Am I just that? If the relationship is secure, if the friendship is secure, you should know that they have your interest at heart. You shouldn't always have to second guess what they mean to you and what you mean to them. And then the last thing I'd say about toxic relationships is that you begin to hide certain aspects about you that they don't like, when in fact these parts of you are your best qualities and your best characteristics. But because they don't like it, you can't show them who you are truly at core. And because of that, you can't actually always be yourself. You can't always be true to your own character, because guess what? They don't like it. So that's one thing I'd say. And see, let me just give you a common example that happens in toxic friendships. When you are in public, they never want you to meet their own other friends, but they always want to meet your own other friends. They always want to have some sort of control over you. They always want to have some sort of control over your circle, your inner circle. And that's just wrong. And then I find that it is harder for people to see the red flags in toxic/manipulative friendships than it is for them to see the red flags in manipulative or toxic romantic relationships, because you just always think, oh, they're just my friend, or they're not doing that much to me, or they're not really affecting me. when in fact they're actually the one that are draining who you are, and then you project that onto some of your other relationships with other people. So it's difficult for us to navigate through toxic slash manipulative friendships, because we just think it's an innocent friendship, but it's not an innocent friendship. They don't actually care about you. I've said the term toxic slash manipulative friendships way too many times. Literally, I feel like I should have done a counter thing that'd be like, boom, boom. Okay, last one. You see how I've been serving you guys different angles. Anyway, last but not the least, we're going to talk about arm's length friendships slash what I call acquaintances. See, I have a lot of acquaintances, but I didn't have a lot of good friends. In the sense that your acquaintance is someone that you can go clubbing with, you can go to the cinema with, you can go out for dinner with, you have a good time with them. They're nice people. I like to call them escapes, because when you just want to have a good time, when you just want to chill, when you don't really want to face your own problems or face your own struggles, or when you just don't want to listen to good advice and you just want to be a bad girl for the day, you go to your acquaintances slash your arm's length friends. They don't really know much about you. They don't really know many personal details about you. They don't know what you are at core, because you don't necessarily feel comfortable sharing that part of you with them yet. But they are still good people, because you like their energy. Your energy and their energy complement. And I think that's very vital when you find people that you vibe with. Oh my god, please keep them. You don't have to keep them as best friends, but definitely try and keep them as acquaintances. A lot of us end up becoming acquaintances with our course mates, classmates, work colleagues, all this kind of stuff, because they don't know you at core, but you like to have a good time with them. That's what tends to happen. So that's definitely my thing about arm's length friendships. And I find that sometimes we confuse acquaintances with genuine friendships. Don't get me wrong, it's not that acquaintances are not good people. They are good people. But when you really begin to understand the nitty-gritty of their own fundamentals, you find that actually their essence of being does not complement your essence of being. And because of that, there's a reason why your relationship will always reach a certain level. Like there is a cap. It will never go beyond this. The quality of the relationship would never improve, neither would the intensity of the relationship, because your fundamentals do not complement. I think this actually translates a lot to a lot of romantic relationships, in the sense that sometimes when people are dating, they think they are ready to move on to the next level, which is engagement or whatever. But the reality of the situation is you should continue dating, because the quality of your relationship will not surpass the dating stage, due to the fact that your fundamentals are too distinctive. They're too different. So the same thing applies to friendships. The fundamentals of your relationships, the fundamentals of who you are too different. As a result, you cannot quite go beyond that acquaintances threshold, and that's okay. It is fine. It is cool. Class, no problem. I actually love my acquaintances. Like when I don't really want to listen to advice, that's when I go to my acquaintances. When I just want to like bury my issues and not face my emotions or whatever is going on with me mentally, or if I really don't want to do an essay, I know my good friends will be like my people will be like, go and do your essay. Don't not do this because of somebody. But my acquaintances would be like, guy, let's go out clubbing now. Let's go out for dinner. Let's do this. Let's do that. So because of how important friendships are, that's why a lot of people stress that it is good for you to be friends with your partners beforehand, in the sense that it is good for you to understand each other at your lowest and at your highest. It is good for you to understand your strengths. It is good for you to understand your weaknesses, because when you can do that on a friendship level, there isn't much judgment. There's a lot more understanding and a lot less pressure than when you're on a romantic level. So when the friendship then gravitates to a romantic level, it's even better if lol. only a few people will get that joke. If you guys believe that I've missed out some things, please comment down below. If you don't agree with some things, please let me know, because that might actually change my own understanding and improve it in a better way. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for watching. Please guys, don't forget to check out my blog. It is really good, and please read the piece about friendship imitates true love, because it genuinely boils down this video into one article, and it's really not that long. It's actually quite a personal piece, so you might like it if you're into all those anecdotes and stuff. Like I always do, gracias, shukran, grazie, kanzamita, thank you, eshe. Thank you for liking and everything, and goodbye. There is no tea, there is no singing. I don't know what's happening to me today, but it is what it is. Actually, I don't know what's happening to me today. I did recently just come out of sort of manipulative friendship, and because of that, this topic is quite close to my heart, like I said at the beginning. So bye.